As I said, we're going to open with a LifeBites segment. Belief Days. It starts today, September 11th through the 21st. It's inspired by Oprah's landmark upcoming Belief series and the International Day of Peace from September 11th through the 21st. And people around the country will be engaging in conversation called the Belief Days of Compassion and Healing. And you know, you've heard me say this on this radio show, especially as it relates to Marilyn. You know, you'll hear people say, you know, it's such a tragedy. Well, how we can move from tragedy is that we move to transformation. And in today's message about compassion and healing, that's exactly what we need to do. Is we need to move from tragedy to compassion and healing. And that's why I'm honored to have my guest. Sister Jenna is an award-winning spiritual leader, author, radio, television personality, renowned speaker, and the founder of Meditation Museum in the metropolitan Washington, D.C. area. For decades, she has demonstrated an extraordinary level of improvement in the quality of lives, ranging from the heads of government to children. She's traveled to over 80 countries where she continues to provide practical tools and solutions that empower and foster and build stronger relationships. So I am honored to have you on the show. And she also has a wonderful radio show herself called America Meditating. Sister Jenna, welcome.
Hello. Hi, Nina. Om Shanti, and hello to everyone. I'm very glad to be here with you, especially on this particular day.
What exactly is Belief Days? And what are we trying to achieve here?
Well, you know, we're trying to achieve that we will not be living through a 9/11 at 8:47 when the first plane went into a building and there were innocent folks just going to work in the morning. And the belief system is actually engaging individuals from all walks of life. You might be aware, but Oprah took her network crew to 33 countries to find people to understand what it is that they pull from in their faith. Now, one is to find your strength from your faith, but then there's also another pulling, and that is the faith within the self. And so the belief series will be 7 consecutive days, beginning from October the 18th to October 24th. Nina, you're involved, and we're inviting so many people from around the world. This has become, I think there are almost approximately 9,000 events already planned before the launch of this television series, Nina.
Well, and it takes grassroots as well to be able to get something like this in the attention and the need for something like this as well, Sister Jenna.
It's a big call because it's looking at your spirituality, but also your religion, and it's looking at your personal capacity as a person. And so there are questions that we will be asking ourselves in these series, and I think it's very bold. It is challenging, but something that I've learned, which is from Values Partnership, and they're the ones that own Hired to really mobilize all of us together, you, me, and so many of our friends around the country. There's a very strong alliance right now of spiritual and community leaders building in this country. And I am so enthused to wait to see not only the energy by October 18th, but the energy after October 24th, and see what we do with that, because we will come to some sense of, I don't know if it's divinity or if it's truth, Nina, but I don't think that we would allow the emergence of this hate to breathe through that easily.
Well, I think that what you're saying is really important and impactful, especially a day like today. And that's why I wanted to take a little bit of extra time on 9/11, because it's not just American history that is affected. It's world history, and it's happening every single day, throughout the world, where people are utilizing hate instead of peace. So you said something very interesting about transformation. And when I started the show, I was talking about Marilyn and moving from tragedy to transformation. How can we move from this tragedy that happened in 9/11 to our own transformation?
I think it's very, very important to ask yourself the right question. I think it's very important to do that. Let's just say you're not feeling good. It's important to ask why. What is it that I want? The second thing, it's very important for us to observe our thoughts and what those thoughts are saying, because our interpretation in our lives are all focused around the thought forms that we percolate and nurture in our minds regularly. So I really want to ask everyone, because I think it's so vital to ask the right questions and to observe your thoughts. And the third thing, please, every day in your life, do an act that gives happiness. It is important. It's that simple. It's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science, but it's simple, but for a lot of us, it's not always so easy, and it's uncomfortable, because that also, it means maybe going into the unknown. You've been operating in a pattern that might not have been serving you, and now you've got to reach, or down, dig a little bit deeper in order to learn a little bit more about yourself and where these feelings are coming from. So what's next, or what's going to be happening in these, from the 11th to 21st? There's obviously conversations going on. How can somebody get involved, and how can they learn more?
Well, as of today, the Believe team launched the 11 days of Believe Days. Hashtag Believe Days is how we're keeping in touch with each other, sharing our experiences of some questions that they're leaving us to raise. What is your vision of a healed world? What is your vision of a healed world, Nina? And, how do you even,
powerful
question.
What I mean? Yeah, it's a powerful question. Yeah, those are what are some other questions that people can just kind of ponder on in their own life today and through the next 10 days?
Sure. Connecting to the 11 Days of Series, there's also another question as to how is it that you would like to bring into community the realizations from the questions, from the answers that you've gotten from your question, and how do you actually follow or receive benefit from your belief? What is your belief, and how do you use your belief? There are 3 to 4 core questions that are available for anyone on the Believe Team website. And again, if you hashtag Believe Days, you'll get a chance to really follow this global conversation that's taking place. But what I want to say more than anything else, Nina, is if we don't check what's at the core of our belief system, how do we know where we're going?
Wow. Can you say that one more time?
If we don't check at the core of our belief systems, how do we know where we're going? I mean, we don't have a foundation if I don't have a belief.
Wow.
Your belief is your conviction. I believe I'm pure, and so I'm going to go wherever purity will find me. If my belief system is a Jew, then I want to do everything that Abraham left me to do. If my belief system is that I love music and music gives me happiness, I'm going to go wherever I can find good music. But it's important to know, what do you believe in? What's at your belief system?
Well, and it's very, I love what you're saying, because I had a sneak peek on the Oprah series, Belief. And I think what she does is she allows us a peek, an entry into the variety of different belief systems that all of us have. And if we can come to those other people's beliefs, they may not be our own, but if we can come to it with compassion, with understanding, with, like I said, it may not be what we believe, but then there's a tolerance. And this is part of the problem of why we have and had a 9/11.
Well said. Well said. I'm not even quite sure if Owen is even aware of the traumatic shift that's going to be happening because of this series, because when everyone sits or goes into their communities that might be screening the television shows between October 18th to 24th, the kind of a conversation that will be derived, I think, will be life transformative. And these 11 days from 9/11 to 9/21 is to keep percolating and creating these questions. So we're so ready when we're sitting there. We can feel it. I've got to be in charge of my life. I mean, no one else.
So exactly. So everybody that's listening out there, it's important for, we can blame everybody else for what is happening or not happening in our life, but it's important for us to take responsibility and listen to some of these messages, regardless if you believe in anybody else. Take responsibility for your own beliefs and how you can make the world a better place, because we're at a very important time in history. A counterpoint to all the violence and hatred out there is something that can lead with compassion and healing. So I just want to say thank you so much, Sister Jenna, for being on the show today and also sharing a little bit of your wisdom. And for those of you that want to read a little bit more and get a little bit more, Sister Jenna will be on the Positively Positive Smash social media site with her article starting this Sunday to, again, continue the wonderful momentum of Belief Days and the new series coming out from OWN called Belief, October 18th through the 24th. Tune in and learn a little bit about somebody else. So thank you, Sister Jenna.
Thanks, Nina. And thank you for the good work that you're doing as well.